People in Madeira and one neighborhood tonight are talking about how lucky they are more people were not hurt or killed when a plane crashed into a home. The investigation into exactly what happened is well underway. Our David Winter is just a few yards from the wreckage. And David, explain what is happening in the neighborhood tonight.
Well, like you mentioned, an overwhelming feeling of thankfulness here in this neighborhood for the fact that more people were not injured when this plane came plummeting down. Of course, there's also an overwhelming feeling of sadness for the family of the pilot who died when this plane plummeted from the sky. You can see right now they're working on the roof. The plane actually hit this sycamore tree and sent a huge branch down onto the home, and it went through the roof. Unbelievable that no one was hurt. Now, you can also see where the plane crashed into the home and then landed. It spun around, landed in the yard. Again, so lucky no one was home. Just two dogs, but they were uninjured. Now, the Federal Aviation Administration investigators, they spent the day gathering evidence. They're looking for any violations that may have occurred. The NTSB investigator will try to determine what happened to this plane and why it fell from the sky. Now, that investigator was held up in Denver, so they have a new investigator coming in tomorrow at 3 p.m. She's going to hold a news conference. We're going to carry that live on local12.com, so make sure to tune in for that. Now, our investigation shows that the plane was a Piper PA-31-350 Navajo, and it was built in 1980. Its certificate was up to date. The pilot was 62 years old, very experienced, and was geomapping and taking photographs for a Mississippi company that specialized in this type of work. Witness statements will likely be a big part of this investigation.
And I heard an engine rev, so I turned around, dropped my rake right away, and watched it come over those trees. And it got just about where you can see those pines. That was my view, right over their house. And it just took a perpendicular dive into the rear of their yard. And pretty good thud. Everybody heard it around here.
What I heard was about like 3 seconds of like an engine failing, and then a loud bang, and then a couple minutes later, like popping.
That popping was the fire that ensued after that plane crashed. Jenny Brock's surveillance camera, take a look at it. It shows here that she runs outside right after she hears the crash, and then she goes onto the front yard, and you can see the camera there, and she is running up the driveway to see if she can help anyone. This incidentally happened at about 3:20 yesterday afternoon. Children were just pouring into the neighborhood as they were getting home from school. Again, just amazing that more people were not injured in this crash. Reporting live from Madeira, David Winter, Local 12.
And David, you said how important it is that witnesses talk about what they saw. So are they going door to door asking people for surveillance video and to express whatever they saw?
Yeah, well, the FAA was out here. They're just trying to see if there was any kind of violations. But the NTSB, they're certainly going to be taking statements from people when they do arrive on scene. They're just a little late to the party.
All right. Thank you, David. Members of the family who live in that home are staying with friends until investigators are done gathering information they need, and that should be a couple more days.